Okay, we're starting. So, um, here's our first link, area of a sector. So, the area of a sector is the area of a piece of a circle. So, as the radius changes, the circle gets smaller or bigger. So, the sector's area will be smaller or bigger. And if you want to know the piece of a circle, what you want to know is the central angle. Remember, the central angle is the angle where the vertex is on the center. So, here, right now, I'm making it an angle of 50 degrees. The bigger piece of the circle, the bigger the angle will be. Um, so, for example, some of you guys have already done this maybe in eighth grade where they asked you, what's half a circle? When you multiplied by one half of the total area, you really use this formula because 180 divided by 360, if I can get it there, is one half. So, this is the idea. I gave you questions that were much harder than this concept. Let's break it down. Let me check to make sure everyone's on the same page. I see 5 comments. It's fine. Okay. Guys, unmute your mic, please, if you have a question. That way, I'm not ignoring anybody if I don't see those messages. Okay. So let's see what we have in the diagram below of circle O. Diameter AB and radii OC and OD are drawn. Why is this important? Diameter means that it passes through the center and it's also twice the radius. So these two segments are equal to 6 each because they have to add up to 12. Just divide 12 by 2 to get to 6 each. So that's important. Um, Also, it's important because if you're told something's a diameter, that means it cuts a circle in half or it cuts a circle into 180 degrees because a full circle is 360. So let's see how we could use all this. Um, you're told the length is 12, and you're also told the measure of COD is 20. This was a confusing part. This is what COD is right here. This is what the question was asking you for. Take a highlighter. They asked you for the area of BOD. So this is what they want. They want this slice. If you guys want, you can think of it as like a slice of pizza. I don't know the area of this piece. So what else do they give you? They give you that these two pieces are the same in this line right here. And you know one piece is 20. So you want to put all the facts together. So on the bottom here we have half a circle, or we have 180 degrees, right? So we're going to do 180 minus 20, and we get to 160. And remember, our goal is to figure out the angle of BOD. So 160 is what's left after we take away the 20, and we have two equal pieces here, so we're going to do 160 divided by 2 to get to 80. And that is going to tell us what this angle is. This angle is 80. Same thing here, even though it doesn't matter. I'm going to take a quick break here to see if anybody has questions. Does anybody have questions? So far, so good? No questions. Okay. Thank you, Leveni, for letting me know people can hear me. All right. So from here, if you want to find the area of a sector, we have this formula where you take the angle of the arc that's intercepted by BOD over 360. So the piece of the circle over the total circle times the total area, pi r squared. In this case, our angle is 80. So we have 80 over 360. And we have pi r squared. Let me take away that. We know what r is, right? We don't have to write it 2 times. The radius in this case is 6 squared. So here's the trick to all these questions. It asks you for the answer in terms of pi. So what you do is, do not enter pi in the calculator. If it's in terms of pi, that means pi is going to be there when you're done. So I want you guys to take your calculator, I'm doing here, and enter everything except for pi. So I'm entering 80 divided by 360, and I'm going to multiply this by 6 squared. And this gives me my answer, or 8. But I have to know that the real answer is 8 pi, not just 8. And this is what you were looking for from your homework. If you did not do your homework, resubmit. Get credit for it. Here's the answer. Any questions? No? Nobody has any questions about this one? No questions. No. Okay, let's keep it moving. Here's our next question. The diagram below circle O, the area of the shaded region is 2 pi. So they're actually giving you the total area. They're telling you the area is 2 pi. If NL is 6, so we're going to have to break this down. NL is 6. So they're saying this total piece is 6. And here's the vocabulary in the question. If it's telling you circle O, that means O is the center, which means 6 is the length of the diameter because NL crosses through the center, which means the radii are 3 each, just divided by 2. So from here, you're asked for angle N, and this can be kind of hard to do here. How would you find angle N? What you want to do is find angle O, and if you know what angle O is, angle N would be half of that because angle N is an inscribed angle. So this is combining everything you've learned so far. So let's see what we would do. You would set the area of the sector equal to the angle you want to find out over 360 times pi, and our radius is 3 squared. So now your goal is to figure out this angle. That's what we want to know. We want to know this thing. So what we're going to do is we can cross out the pi's. They're on each side. And the first thing I want to do is divide by 3 squared. So dividing both sides by 3 squared, and this gives me 2 over 9 equals the angle over 360. And then if I want to know what the angle is by itself, I multiply both sides by 360. When I do that, the 360s divide out, and this is my answer for angle O, not angle N. So this is a trick question here. So I want to take my calculator out, and I have to do 2 divided by 9 times, so 2 divided by 9 times 360 degrees, and that gives me 80. So this is telling us that angle O is 80 degrees, but that's not what this is asking for. It's asking for angle N. If you want to know what angle N is, you cut angle O in half because central angle is equal to the arc of intercepts, which means that the inscribed angle would equal half of it, or 40. Are there any questions about this one? Anybody? Okay, thank you, Richard. Yes. In this case, no. So when they're asking for the angle here, they're asking you for the angle that's not associated with the sector. So in this case, we have to find out the angle that's associated with the sector so we could find out what angle N is. So it all depends on the question. Does anybody else have any questions? No, we're good? Okay, last one. Oh, I see someone type something. Okay, we're good. Okay, so This is basically going to be a trick question here, but we want to know how to use the calculator to make things simpler for us. You're told you have circle O, so the center is O. GO is 8. You're given the radius in this case. And you're told GOJ, or this angle, is 60. They're asking you for pi, or the area of the shaded region in terms of pi. So what's the trick here? They gave you the angle for the unshaded region. So most people use 60 as their angle. What you're supposed to do is 360 minus 60 for your angle. That gives you 300. So you would do 300 over 360. And then you want to multiply it by 8 squared pi. So how do we make this easier for ourselves? Remember, it's in terms of pi. So you want to enter everything except for pi. Let's get our calculator out here. So I'm entering everything except for pi. So 300 divided by 360. And then I'm typing 8 squared. So this is a nasty number, and if I look at this number, I don't see it anywhere here, right? Instead of entering each one of these and seeing which one equals it, I want to press math and then enter twice, and I get 160 over 3, which tells me that all of this simplifies to 160 over 3, and then I just have pi left over, which is the fourth choice.